everyone, Ziyaans on this side. So today and we are dealing with a topic called as somatic cell hybridization. Okay, so let's get started. So here the process of fusion between the different somatic cells is called as somatic cell hybridization. For example, such as human cell and a rodent cell. Let's call it as a mouse cell. Okay, now so ultimately if you are fusing two different cells which do not match at all on even on the specific level, not even on the generic level, so ultimately the newly formed cell will be called as a hybrid cell. Okay, and ultimately there will be one fused nucleus. There will be one fused nucleus. So here such a process occurs in the cell culture and the products are useful in establishing the expression and the location of particular genes. If I want to define the somatic cell hybridization, I'll be going for one single sentence that is called as the technique which allows the manipulation of cellular genome by the protoplast fusion. So here the application of the somatic cell hybridization is that the major contribution it is in the plant breeding. The major contribution of the somatic cell hybridization is in the plant breeding, which is common crossing barrier among plant species. So ultimately, what we are dealing with the somatic cell hybridization in the plant breeding to overcome the common crossing barriers among the plant species. But still we will be dealing about the human cells here. So the technique of the somatic cell hybridization is extensively used in the human genome mapping, but it can be used for the other phases as well. For example, the principle can be used in many different animal systems. So it is very important technique which develops and most famous for producing the monoclonal antibodies. So what are the monoclonal antibodies? So these are the specialized antibodies which have monovalent affinity, which which means like they are very specific. That is the reason why they are monovalent affinity, which are binding only to the same epitope, but that is the part which of the antigen which is recognized by the antibody, or the place at which the antigen antibody interaction takes place. Okay, now what is the procedure for the somatic cell hybridization? So basically the procedure uses the cell growing in the cell culture. How come? So here the technique is using a virus called as Sendai virus. The virus is called as Sendai virus, which has a very useful property that is making the mapping technique possible. How come? Here each Sendai virus has several points of attachment, so it can simultaneously attach to two different cells. If they happen to be close together. So ultimately if I am drawing one single cell here, the other cell here, and like the some Sendai virus are coming, so at the end of the day they will be fusing the cells. Okay. However, the virus is very small in comparison with the cell. So the two cells to which the virus is attached are held very close together. Ultimately, if the cells are huge enough and if the virus is very much small and if the virus is coming, so both the cells will held together. So ultimately, in fact, the membranes of the two cells may fuse together and the two cells become one. Or rather what we call them as, we will be calling it as a binucleate heterokaryon. We'll be calling the new cell as a binucleated heterokaryon. Now let's go to the diagram here. So we can observe here that the first cell is called as the cell X and the second cell is called as the cell Y. And if I am writing here, I'll be just writing in the case that the cell X what I have chosen is the human cell. It is the human cell, correct? And the cell Y is none other than the mouse cell. It is the mouse cell. Okay, deal with. Now, what we are dealing? We are just joining both the cells here with the help of Sendai virus. So a new cell has been came here, and it is a fused cell. And ultimately, like, whenever the cytoplasm fusion is taking place, the new cell will be looking like this. Correct? So the new cell will be called as XY heterokaryon. Why? Because our first cell was the cell X, the second cell was the cell Y. So the new cell having the fused cytoplasm but not fused the nucleus will be called as XY heterokaryon. Okay? But here like we will be having like the different types of the cells. Wherever like the fusion, during the fusion, we will be having three types of the cells. During the fusion, we will be having three types of the cells. The first one will be called as unfused. The first one will be called as unfused. Correct? The second will be called as unfused. The first one will be called as unfused mouse cells. Okay? I'll be writing as mouse. Unfused mouse cells. The second will be called as unfused human cells. Unfused. I'll be just writing H for the human. And the third one will be called as the fused one, and now we'll be calling it as hybridoma. It will be hybridoma. Getting? Okay. So now, how we'll be identifying that which cell is which? So here we have a technique. We will be using the hat medium. We will be using the hat medium. What does this hat means? Hat. So this hat medium has a full form called as hypoxanthine aminopterin thymidine. Now what is the function of this hypoxanthine aminopterin thymidine or the hat medium? So basically the hybridoma selection after the fusion of myeloma cell and the cells, normal cells, human cells, is a critical step in the monoclonal antibody production. So what we will be dealing? The three cells, whatever the three cells we had, the first one was the unfused myeloma cells of the mouse, the second one was the normal cells of the human, and the third one was the newly formed cell, that is the hybrid cell, and we are calling it as fused hybridoma cells. So whenever we will be exposing all the cells to the hat medium, only one cell will survive, and that cell will be called as the hybridomas. Because only the hybridomas are the one which have the HGPRT enzyme, which is responsible for survival of the cells within the hat medium. So only the hybridomas will be producing this HGPRT enzyme. This HGPRT enzyme will be produced by only through the hybridomas. Okay? So even through each and every cell will try, but still they won't be divided at all. So they will be eliminated at the end of the day, and only one cell will be surviving, and this cell will be our cell of the target or the target cell. That is what we call as the hybridomas, which will be producing the monoclonal antibodies. Now these are the cells which will be producing the monoclonal antibodies. Monoclonal antibodies. Okay, deal with. Now, so this was all about the somatic cell hybridization, in which what we have learned that the somatic cell hybridization is basically a technique which is involving the fusion of two completely different cells. And we are not talking about the germ cells at all, rather we are talking about the somatic cells, and we are fusing these somatic cells for the sake of the betterment of the human society. Okay, deal with. And one of the important tasks for the production of the somatic cell hybridization is none other than the production of the monoclonal antibodies. I am writing one thing, that with the help of the monoclonal antibody production, or rather I should be calling it as with the help of hybridoma technology, the rabies virus can be the very rabies virus can be defeated from the cells. Okay, like that technique I'll be discussing like somewhat later, but still with the help of the somatic cell hybridization, the new cells have came into existence which can defend the rabies virus. Okay, done. So this was all about the somatic cell genetics and its application. Hopefully this lecture has been beneficial for you guys. Thank you very much for your so much support. If you do have any kind of questions, you can ask me there in the comment section as well. Okay, thank you.